Hello friends, today we're going to learn personality words. There are two kinds of personality words, positive words and negative words. Let's learn them very quickly. The first one is charismatic. It means charming and influential. Its opposite is repulsive. It means unattractive, not charming, not influential. Nobody likes such a person. Sentences are like this. Well, Sachin Tendulkar is a charismatic personality. A proud attitude is repulsive to people. We all know that Sachin is charismatic. And Osama bin Laden would be repulsive to everybody. Nobody likes him. An irritating person or a nuisance or one who creates a nuisance is what? Repulsive. Nobody likes such a person. Then the next one is industrious. Industrious means hardworking. Its opposite is sluggish, lazy. The industrious eat the fruit of their hands. The industrious means the hardworking, they work hard and they eat the fruit of their hands. And sluggish, which is lazy, the sluggish desires but does not get anything. What does a lazy person do? Or a sluggish person do? Or a slothful person do? They keep desiring, but they never work for that and they never get that. The next one is modest. Modest means humble. Its opposite is conceited, proud. Example sentence, Abdul Kalam was too modest to be boastful. Abdul Kalam was so humble, so modest that he would not boast about anything. The opposite is conceited. God gives grace to the humble but resists the conceited. Resist the proud. Next word, munificent. It means generous, liberal, kind. And the opposite is parsimonious, miserly, stingy, close-fisted, tight-fisted. Example sentence, a righteous person is munificent as well. A good person, an upright person is munificent as well, is generous as well. Parsimonious, miserly. Being economical should not be confused with being parsimonious. Some people are economical, they are frugal, they are not wasteful, but some people consider them what? Parsimonious. Some people consider them stingy, close-fisted, miserly, which is a negative quality. The next word is righteous. Righteous means upright. Opposite is wicked, evil, vile. Example sentence, only the righteous will enter heaven. Only the upright people will go to heaven. Others will go to hell. Wicked, evil. The wicked will be cut off. The wicked will be destroyed. Cut off means destroy. Sagacious. Sagacious means wise, clever, astute, judicious. And the opposite is witless. Witless, foolish. A sagacious person weighs pros and cons before taking any step. What does a sagacious person do? A sagacious person thinks. He looks before he leaps. A sagacious person weighs pros and cons before taking any step. And a witless person, a foolish person, a witless person considers himself to be wiser than 7 wise men. A foolish person, an injudicious person, a witless person, a stupid person, a nincompoop considers himself what? To be wiser than 7 wise men. Next one, thrifty. Thrifty means economical, not wasteful, not wasting money. One should be economical to be a good steward. If you want to be a good manager of things, you need to be what? Thrifty, economical, frugal. Opposite is spendthrift, extravagant, prodigal, wasteful, wasting. A spendthrift person meets the same fate as the prodigal son did in the Bible. We read the story of the prodigal son in the Bible, and he was wasteful and he became a pauper because of his wasteful nature, because he was a spendthrift. So a spendthrift person meets the same fate as the prodigal son did in the Bible. Next. Graceful. Graceful is refined, cultured. We should be graceful. One needs to be graceful to be acceptable in social gatherings. We can't just be uncultured there or uncivilized there. We need to be what? Graceful, refined, cultured. The opposite is gauche, clumsy, awkward, not good enough, not cultured. The gauche young man could not pull off the job for self-evident reasons. If you are not refined in your manners, If you are gauche, if you're clumsy, if you're awkward, you'll not be able to pull off what? A good job. You'll not be able to impress people. Next, heroic. Heroic means brave, and the opposite is cowardly, timid. A heroic personality will not shoot a video while an innocent person is being harassed. That's what happens today. If somebody is drowning, there are people, instead of saving him, they shoot the video. Cowardly, timid. A cowardly man dies many times before his death. A cowardly person dies every day. The heroic die only once, when their actual death comes. The next one, docile. Docile means teachable. Someone whom you can teach and improve. We select docile candidates for training. Those who are submissive. Intractable, unteachable. An intractable person is stubborn, does not listen to you, does not submit to you. Unteachable. We sacked the intractable employees. We sacked means we dismissed the intractable employees. Peaceable. Peaceable means friendly. A peaceable person wins hearts. If you're peaceable, you'll win hearts. If you're friendly, you'll win hearts. Pugnacious is quarrelsome. A pugnacious person earns a lot of disrepute. Nobody likes a pugnacious person. Contented. Contented means satisfied. The opposite is avaricious. Avaricious is greedy. A God-fearing man's heart is always contented. We need to be content. We should not be greedy. We should not be avaricious. We should not be papacious. An avaricious person can never know what contentment is. Well, contentment is a joy in itself. But an avaricious person or a greedy person can never understand that. The next word is compassionate. That means kind-hearted. And its opposite is ruthless, merciless. Mother Teresa was a compassionate woman. She was a kind-hearted woman. The terrorists are ruthless homicides. Homicides are murderers, those who kill human beings. So the terrorists are ruthless, cruel, merciless homicides. Sincere. Sincere is honest, and crafty is deceitful, deceptive. One who wants to deceive you. One should be sincere in one's duties. One should be sincere in one's duties. A crafty person has deceit on his tongue. A deceitful person has deceit. He speaks, he tells lies to deceive. Prepossessing. Prepossessing is attractive. If somebody is prepossessing, they are attractive. You like to look at them. All are prepossessing if seen from a godly point of view. Well, in this world, nobody is ugly because God made them, and we should never consider or call anybody ugly. So, from a godly point of view, everybody is what? Prepossessing, attractive, the very crown of God's creation. The opposite is unprepossessing. Unprepossessing. That means ugly, unattractive, not good to look at. Well, none are unprepossessing because all of us are made in God's image. We should not call anybody unprepossessing. Optimistic is the next word. It means hopeful about future. You have a hope. An optimistic person gives hope to others also. Pessimistic, hopeless about future. Sometimes being realistic is mistaken for being pessimistic. Sometimes you are just being realistic and people say, oh, you're hopeless. You don't have hope. You're not positive. The next one, ebullient. Ebullient means energetic, full of energy. Opposite is lackadaisical. Ebullient is energetic. The company is looking for ebullient young candidates to achieve its objectives. Every company looks for what? Ebullient candidates. Energetic, vigorous, strong candidates. Enthusiastic candidates. Lackadaisical is unenergetic. One who does not have energy is lackadaisical. Lackadaisical person survives only in government jobs in India. You know, a lackadaisical person will not survive in a private job because there you have to be productive. Vigorous, that means strong. Its opposite is vulnerable, weak. Being vigorous is recommended in this cutthroat competition. Being strong is recommended in this cutthroat competition. Vulnerable is weak. The vulnerable are exploited. The weak people are exploited. Altruistic. Altruistic is public spirited, unselfish. One who works for the welfare of human beings is altruistic. Nelson Mandela lived an altruistic life. He worked for the welfare of human beings. Egotistical is the opposite of altruistic. Egotistical is what? Self-seeking, selfish. One who does not love others. One who is self-centered is egotistical. An egotistical person is a stigma on the face of humanity, is a blot on the face of humanity. The next one. Accomplished. Accomplished means proficient, efficient, skillful, adroit, able to do. Godly women strive to be accomplished homemakers, proficient, skillful homemakers. Incompetent is the opposite, unskilled. An incompetent person survives nowhere. Let's do some exercise. Only the blank will enter heaven. Who's going to enter heaven? Lackadaisical or righteous? Well, lackadaisical means one who does not have energy. Righteous is an upright person. So who will enter heaven? Energyless people or upright people? Well, upright people, therefore it should be righteous. Only the righteous will enter heaven. Next. The life of a blank person is at 6s and 7s. At 6s and 7s means disorderly, not in order. So, whose life is at 6s and 7s? Is it a competent person's life that is at 6s and 7s? Or is it a sluggish person's life? Sluggish is lazy. So, obviously it's a lazy person's or a sluggish person's life that is at 6s and 7s. So, the life of a sluggish person is at 6s and 7s. One should be blank to save money for the rainy day. If you want to save money, what do? You have to be thrifty or spendthrift. Well, you know that. We just did that. We just understood that. We just learned that. Well, you have to be thrifty to save money for the rainy day, because thrifty is economical, does not waste money. And a spendthrift person is a wasteful person, wastes lots of money. A or an blank person knows how to answer the fools. Sagacious or ebullient. Sagacious is judicious or wise. And ebullient is energetic, full of energy, enthusiastic, vigorous. So, who knows how to answer the fools? Well, it's a wise person, so sagacious would be the right answer. A sagacious person knows how to answer the fools. The students will be sent to the principal. We have two words here, docile and intractable. Docile is teachable, submissive, those who listen to the teacher. And intractable are the stubborn ones who do not listen to the teacher, who are unsubmissive, unteachable. So, the intractable students will be sent to the principal. You knew that, right? Exercise 2. We must be to come out with flying colors. To come out with flying colors means to be successful, to pass with good marks. So, we must be what? Industrious or incompetent to come out with flying colors. Incompetent means not skillful, and industrious means hardworking. So, it should be what? We must be industrious to come out with flying colors. Next, Caesar was a warrior. What? Docile warrior or heroic warrior? We know docile means teachable. We just did that in the last exercise. Docile means teachable. Heroic means brave. Caesar was what? Heroic, brave person. Are necessarily good Samaritans. Who is a good Samaritan? A good Samaritan is the one who works for the welfare of human beings. It's a phrase, a good Samaritan. It has a story behind that, which I will not share right now. So, a good Samaritan is a good person, one who helps others. So, who are good Samaritans? Altruists or lackadaisical? Well, it should be altruist. Lackadaisical is the one who lacks energy, and altruists are the ones who work for others, who work for the welfare of others. So, altruists are necessarily good Samaritans. Blank people refuse to be reconciled. Sagacious or pugnacious? Sagacious is wise and pugnacious is quarrelsome. Which people refuse to be reconciled? Well, you know that, it's pugnacious. Pugnacious people refuse to be reconciled. He is a country bumpkin. Country here means rural or belonging to a village. Bumpkin is a person, who belongs to a rural area and does not have good manners. So he is a what? Country bumpkin. What kind of country bumpkin? Gauche country bumpkin or prepossessing country bumpkin? Prepossessing is beautiful or attractive, and gauche is uncultured, not having good manners. So obviously, since he is a country bumpkin, he must be what? Gauche. He is a gauche country bumpkin. Exercise number 3. Use each word in a sentence. Make a sentence using each of the words that you learned in this PowerPoint presentation. Question number 2. Write a story using as many of the words you learned in this lecture as possible. Write a story using the words you learned today. You learned 40 words, 20 positive characteristics and 20 negative ones. Do them. Thank you.